being a father has exposed my time management and outlook on life. I'm your host, Eli Max, and this is episode 11 of Illustrated Diaries. This is a very personal one as I'm sharing my personal life. I'm not going to go super into detail, but I have a 1-year-old son, and he's a character. I love him. Can't even put into words the love I have for my boy. He challenges me. He helps me to see life at a different lens, and with time, that's the first thing I want to go into. I view time differently, seeing it through the experience of him growing up, and it feels like, me and my wife just got the news of us having our child. It's a beautiful thing being a parent, but it's also a very, very challenging thing as far as, your life is not going to be the same pertaining to the amount of free time that you have. And that's not inherently a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. I mean, it's pretty much a prerequisite to being a parent. And there's no instruction manual on your exact child. Like, my son has a very distinct and colorful personality. And by that, I mean he doesn't know how to stand still sometimes. He's a very adventurous, very curious individual. And he's a very expressive person, little person. The reference for today's photo is also a picture of me and my son as we were at Discovery Place a couple weeks ago. And it was either grandma or my wife that took it. Yeah, but it exposes your time, whether that is, rest, chores and, other priorities that you got to get done. Like, you have to really be more tactical and intentional with the way you manage it. I like to call him the little mini manager, because if you ain't on top of what it is that you got to do, it ain't getting done. And some days can be, a little bit more challenging than others, because this little person is dependent on you, and you gotta show up. So yeah, prior to my son, I didn't really consider time as much as I do now. Whether that's getting into a routine and a rhythm with these YouTube videos, starting this YouTube channel, documenting my work. I think of the bigger picture as far as like later down the line when he's in adolescence and going into adulthood. Do I have a track record or something that I can give to him to show him like, hey, this is how you do this. This is how you stay in order. This is how you consolidate your passion, right? And this channel, in part, is somewhat of that for him. Not entirely, but it's kind of in the back of my mind. Every now and again, it's like I think about, and I talked about it in my last video, I think about, okay, how can my current life experiences at 25, help to encourage my son when he's in his 20s, or, some other individual that may come across it. They don't necessarily have to be a creative. Of course, the target audience for this channel are creatives, but I also think about legacy. I think about, the future and just what that entails. So yeah, it's a very enlightening experience to have a child, and it's a blessing. It's a blessing. I know a lot of people may see it otherwise, like they'll be like, oh, it's such a chore or such a burden. First and foremost, this child did not ask to be here, so it's not a burden. We happen to make these decisions as grown adults, and that's why, as a believer, I find it best, of course, to do it with your wife and have that foundation of a healthy household. A healthy household doesn't mean a perfect household. We're imperfect people, but if God is in the midst of it, like, he's gonna help to steer and guide you. And if you had a situation where it wasn't, the ideal to have a child, that child is still a blessing. And that's not what I'm here to talk about in this video. I just kind of was going off. But yeah, I think it's vital to also observe your child, not to kind of instill what it is that you want on them. And what I mean by that is like passions and dreams and aspirations. Like when I was younger, I happened to always have a draw for making art. And my parents noticed that. They would take me to this comic book shop near the NODA area in Charlotte. If you're familiar with the Charlotte area, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Heroes aren't hard to find. It's a staple in the NODA area. And I would always get comics from there. Also, making artwork when I was a child up until adulthood, them being supportive of little art competitions that, well, I didn't really have too many art competitions, but like a handful of art competitions they'd always be in full support of. And I just say that to say, like, I like sports. I also play sports. Wasn't the best at it, but I was involved in it, and the benefit of that is, you know, like building community friend groups and stuff like that. Especially my freshman year of high school, having to move from one side of town to another side of town where I didn't know anybody. Sports actually helped for me to find my friend group at my school. So extracurricular activities and just allowing your child to be in environments where it's easier for them to socialize and have a community or network is vital. That's really all I have to say for this video. It's a long time until he's an adolescent, but these are just some of the thoughts that happen to run through my mind as time is going by so fast, and I'm just thankful. I'm thankful to be a parent. I'm thankful to be a father, and just want to have these documented. But I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're a parent, drop in the comment section what it is that you've learned as far as like time is concerned, or just a lesson or something of wisdom that you want to share. I'm your host, Eli Maxson, and I'm out.